Hi, Melanie Muenchinger here, illustrator for Gina K Designs. Today I'm going to be sharing a new video with my fabulous frame filler stamp set from Gina K Designs, how you can create a simple stamped wreath with just the leaves and the oval from this set. And wreaths on cards are always really pretty for the Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays and beyond, depending on what colors you use and what you choose to embellish them with. You could also use a much simpler or fancier design with a lot more layering and pattern papers if you choose, but I just really like how this really pops on the white cardstock. Very minimal supplies for this card. The products and tools that you'll need: I'm going to be using the Gina K Designs tomato soup and dark chocolate ink pads. Have some of her Pure Luxury cardstock. This is the heavy base weight white. So I've got a mat that is 4 by 5 1/4 inches, and then my A2 size card base, which is 4 1/4 by 11 inches scored at 5 1/2. I've got some of the coordinating tomato soup twine, twisted twine that she just released, so you can see how beautifully that coordinates with that ink. Obviously this stamp set. You'll need some large and small blocks for the different images. Going to be using one of her new little wooden leaf embellishments. These are just so sweet on cards. And then I have got a Spellbinders die, and this is from one of the standard circle sets. This particular die measures 1 3/4 by 2 3/8. And it's kind of nice having these index sheets because you can actually place the die with the cutting edge face up to check and see how that's going to fit in there. So if you don't have standard circles, if you've got different dies, or maybe not this particular set, a lot of different ones will work, and it's going to be a little bit bigger or smaller, but I just really like how this creates a little window. And if you don't have any dies, just use the oval and the leaves on their own. And then I'm going to be using some greetings from the fabulous frame stamp set. So to begin, I'm going to start by inking up this oval with the dark chocolate ink. And you're just going to lay this just right over the frame that I've already cut out and pull away. Now if you want, and see, I just didn't want to drag over my die cutting machine here because I don't have that much room on my work surface, but you could do all your stamping first and then just place the die in the middle and do your cutting last. Okay, so now let's go ahead and start stamping these leaves, and I think you're going to be really excited when you see how easy it is just to use this one tiny little image of 3 leaves to fill out this whole frame, and at the end it's going to look like it's one big wreath image. Alright, so we're going to just stamp one little cluster starting anywhere, and that stamping off technique that I showed you where I'm going to turn my cardstock and turn the leaf and just stamp it right next to it. Okay, now let's re-ink, and I'm going to turn the stamp so that this little leaf nests right into that little spot. Lift away and then turn it away and stamp it again, and see how this little pattern is emerging, and they just nest right together. So this is going to go all the way around the frame, and you don't have to worry about leaving a space at the end because you can just adjust as you go around. Stamp, stamp. And then when it starts to get awkward, that's just when you would turn your cardstock. Going. And I also tried this by stamping the inside of the frame, inside of that oval, and that looked really pretty too, but I thought that to put a greeting inside of all those leaves, it was just a little bit busy. Oops, I'm sorry, I forgot to stamp off there. So I just skipped over, and I'll stamp it in there again. Okay, I got to talking and got off on my pattern. So now let's go ahead. See, now I'm working backwards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a piece of scratch paper and just stamp that off. Okay, so now I can begin again with the full ink. It's just a little harder getting them placed when you're working backwards. And of course you can stamp towards you. I did it again. You can stamp towards you, away from yourself, or towards you if you want. But what I'm saying is it's harder to skip the space to go back and put that stamped off one, in my opinion. almost done. Okay, isn't that pretty? And I'm already imagining Christmas cards using green or red or maybe some non-traditional colors, and then adding just some little pearls as like the mistletoe or holly berries. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just place this over my base and add the greeting. And I'm going to go ahead and place the leaf on there about where it's going to hang, so I know where I want to put the greeting. And I'm going to use Hello Friend from the Fabulous Frame kit, or stamp set, excuse me. Okay, so I'm going to do Friend first because that's going to be at the bottom in the chocolate. And then I'm going to use the tomato soup for stamping hello. Okay. Now we're going to take this twine and we're going to just wrap this right through here. And I did it 3 times, but do as many as you want. Loosen it up a little bit so I have a little bit at the end to tie it. Okay, and then I'm going to just snip that. Okay. Now I'm just going to thread this through the button for the little leaf. And if you want, you can color this with a Copic or a Spectrum Noir marker, or even a water-based marker would work. And you just tie that. Get all your little strings the way you want. And you just do a neat little bow and then snip the end. But this would be a really easy card to mass produce. I think you get 50 yards of that twine, so that's quite a bit. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to use some adhesive foam for the back of this. And I had some white. I think my cat knocked it off again. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and use the black. I'm going to cut this up into some smaller pieces. So I'm going to put this at the corners. I usually reserve my black for darker cards, but this I'll have to do for the video. So I'm going to put it at the corners, but then I'm also going to put it around the edge of the frame, not too close where you could see it when you look inside, but just having that around the edges. It's going to make it stand out more so that you really see that it's 2 layers and you kind of get that nice little shadow effect on the window. So just pull away all the backing. And then we're going to lay this right onto the base. Okay. And then I like it just free like that so it can move, but if you want it to stand out or not to move around to a place that you don't want, then you could just put a little piece of adhesive foam on the back of that and it'll still be standing out, but it'll stay in place exactly like you like it. I just trim just this one little tiny part for it to be even. And then you would just fold your card and you are done. I hope you enjoyed this design. I hope you get ideas for how you can use all those different little individual elements in the Fabulous Frame Fillers, even if you're not using the Fabulous Frame card. Please visit my blog, Hands, Head, and Heart, for more inspiration and ideas. Thank you for watching.